Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital YouTube channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. A voiceover of Alex's heartfelt tribute to Spencer played as mourners arrived at the cemetery to pay their final respects. Laura and Kevin led the procession, and each individual laid a single white rose on Spencer's grave. As she came to a halt at Spencer's grave, a saddened Trina burst into tears, prompting Portia to intervene. Moments afterward, Cameron approached Spencer's grave. Alexis finally reached the cemetery and laid a rose on Spencer's grave. A few minutes later, the service concluded and everyone began to socialize. Cameron approached Trina, and the two pals hugged. He expressed his condolences to Trina, but she knew he and Jocelyn were both grieving because they had been friends with Spencer since infancy. Jocelyn greeted Cameron and asked for a hug too. He did not hesitate. Cameron inquired after they had parted ways whether Trina and Jocelyn intended to visit Windermere. Trina said that she did not think she could handle going. Cameron understood Trina's hesitancy, so he advised her to take care of herself and to contact him if she needed anything. Laura thanked Alexis for the lovely eulogy. Later, she informed Sunny that the launch to Spoon Island was ready. Laura then turned to Ava and thanked her for having everyone at Windermere. Laura revealed that Spencer had a special connection to the castle because it was his boyhood home. As people began to leave, Ava approached Trina, hugged her, and inquired about her well-being. Trina confessed that she was glad for Ava's unwavering support, even when Ava had misgivings about Spencer. Ava said that Spencer had proven her wrong, and she was sorry he was gone. Ava swore to always be there for Trina. After they exchanged another heartfelt hug, Portia approached. Ava inquired as to whether everyone would be going to Windermere, but Portia explained that she intended to take Trina home. Ava gazed at Trina with a reassuring grin. After Ava walked away, Portia gave Trina the opportunity to change her mind, but Trina told her mother she was exhausted and wanted to return home. Portia took Trina away as Marshall and Curtis followed. Meanwhile, Cameron gathered with his mother, Finn, and Gregory. Elizabeth regarded Cameron's loss of his oldest buddy as bizarre. Oldest friend and adversary, Cameron remarked with a melancholy tone. Elizabeth told Finn and Gregory about Cameron and Spencer's famous rivalry, which began with the two guys battling over Emma Drake when they were little. Cameron stated that he would miss teasing Spencer. Gregory expressed his sorrow and informed Cameron that he and Finn were there for him. When Cameron mentioned going to the reception at Windermere, Elizabeth warned him to get dressed because Aiden had spent the morning baking. Finn asked Elizabeth if she was ready to depart after Cameron had walked away. She reminded him that she needed to take care of something first, and he assured her that he and Gregory would wait. Cameron joined his granny. Laura told Cameron how thrilled she was to see him and how much she missed him. When she inquired whether he was okay, he said he will be eventually. Laura understood what she was feeling. Kevin informed Laura he'd meet her at Windermere because he needed to take care of something. Laura and Cameron headed to the car after Kevin had left. Sunny, Dante, and Sam were nearby and had left for Windermere. After everyone had left, Finn cried out to his father, but Gregory was distracted. Gregory apologized after Finn managed to grab his father's attention. Gregory acknowledged that Spencer's funeral caused him to reconsider his decision to be cremated. Gregory knew that having a location to see him while he was away would be beneficial to the family, but Finn argued that now was not the time to talk about it. Finn immediately regretted his choice of words, clarifying that he was talking to Gregory's burial plans. Finn stated that there was plenty of time to make funeral arrangements later. Gregory chose to drop it since he felt a sudden chill and wanted to wait in the car. However, he suddenly started gasping for air. Finn, alarmed, helped his father to a bench and called an ambulance. Gregory disagreed, so he asked his son to assist divert him. Finn hesitated briefly, but Gregory was resolute. Gregory began to relax as Finn discussed having to carry brownies to Violet's class and mistakenly passing Aiden's brownies off as his. Finn inquired about the attack, which Gregory described as a twinge in the chest and shortness of breath. Gregory explained that Tracy had accidentally discovered a means to control the attacks by making him angry and distracting him from the symptoms, which had immediately subsided. Finn was concerned that Gregory had not brought up the new symptoms sooner because he was a doctor and wanted to help his father. Gregory explained that Finn wanted to save him. "God, I love you for it, but you can't save me, son." "No one can," he added. Gregory indicated that the best way to move forward was to establish an honest and loving relationship in which they did not tiptoe on eggshells around each other. He asked Finn if they may give it to each other. Yeah, we can," Finn responded. Gregory was pleased and hugged his son. Elizabeth went to Esm's grave in another part of the cemetery. The burial was marked with a little black stand and a simple plaque with Esm's name. Kevin approached and laid a white rose on Esm's grave. Kevin was surprised to see Elizabeth, but she revealed that she had harmed Esm by assisting Nicholas. Elizabeth understood Kevin had made the preparations for the memorial marker, so he stated that he had never seen somebody as alone as Esm. Kevin remembered how terrified Esm had been when she awoke in the hospital with amnesia, and he admitted that he felt for his niece. It showed. Elizabeth reassured him. Kevin admitted that his efforts to assist Esm had been unsuccessful, but Elizabeth claimed that Kevin had done his utmost to remind Esme that she had relatives. The topic shifted to Ryan and Heather, but it was cut short as a police officer carried a crying and shackled Heather to her grave. Heather threw herself on her daughter's grave and rambled, attempting to warn Esm to avoid Spencer since he had not been worthy of her. "They told me that Spencer threw himself into the river and took you with him," Heather wept. Elizabeth leaned down and softly expressed her sorrow to Heather. Heather looked up, puzzled, and inquired whether she knew Elizabeth. Elizabeth recognized that Heather had good reason to feel that way because Elizabeth had assisted Nicholas. Heather surprised Elizabeth by revealing that she was grateful to her for stopping Nicholas from killing Esm and coming forward with the truth. "I admire you, Elizabeth," Heather stated. Heather went on to say that she understood why Franco loved Elizabeth, and she praised Elizabeth with giving Esm a fighting chance in life. Heather had a very different reaction when she saw Kevin, since she believed Esm would still be alive if Kevin hadn't interfered. Elizabeth swiftly backed Kevin, but Heather said that Kevin had a God complex since he believed he could cure Ryan. Heather explained that she had done everything she could to keep Esm away from that maniac, but Kevin had unleashed Ryan on the world. "It's good people like you that destroy lives," Heather informed Kevin. Elizabeth informed Kevin that Heather was expressing her pain, but Heather claimed that people like Elizabeth, Franco, and Elizabeth's wonderful boys were always motivated to see the best in others. Heather replied in a nasty tone, "But you know better, don't you, Dr. Collins?" Heather's return to Pentonville was decided upon by the police officer. Heather inquired as to what would happen to Ace, and Kevin assured her that he would be well taken care of. Heather was not content, so she turned to Elizabeth and begged her to keep an eye on Ace. Heather also cautioned Kevin to treat Ace better than he did Esm, or he would face consequences. After Heather tossed the rose off Esm's grave and kissed the plaque, the police officer took her away. A little while later, Elizabeth returned to Spencer's grave, where Finn was waiting. He inquired about visiting Esm's grave, but she said that she will fill him up later. She was curious where Gregory was, so Finn informed her that his father was waiting in the car. Elizabeth sensed Finn was troubled. He acknowledged that his father loved his independence, but it was time to face that Gregory will be unable to care for himself for much longer. Laura flipped through a photo album at Windermere that contained pictures of Spencer. Ava told how she discovered a cabinet full of photographs when she moved out. Laura smiled regretfully, admitting that, despite Nicholas' failings, he had loved Spencer. Just then, Dante and Sam approached. Dante stated that he had not enjoyed arresting Nicholas, but Laura assured him that she was aware of this. Sam pointed out that Ace was at least being well looked for. After Ava went to answer the door, Sam mentioned that she was still shocked about Spencer. Laura admitted that she was having a nightmare and couldn't wake up. "That's why they called it the circle of life," Sonny said Alexis, gazing at Christina. Alexis acknowledged that when one life died, another began. Ava was upset in the hallway when Cyrus appeared on her doorway, but he explained that he was there for his sister. Laura appeared at the living room doorway and informed Ava that it was okay to invite Cyrus in. Cyrus remarked on Ava's animosity as she returned to the living room and pointedly closed the door behind her. Laura was amazed that he anticipated anything else after committing so many crimes. Cyrus informed his sister that he was aware that some people saw him as a monster, but he wondered whether Laura did as well. When Laura didn't respond, Cyrus offered to bring her home, but she said she had a driver waiting. Cyrus agreed to depart in the spirit of a new beginning with Laura. At the door, he told her that he thought Spencer would want a fresh start. He assured he wasn't the enemy. Cyrus stated that he was just a brother who wanted to do right by his sister. He was convinced Laura would notice that one day. Sam observed Dante staring at his father in the living room and reminded him that he wasn't on duty. Dante revealed that he couldn't stop worrying about Sonny following the recent attempt on his life. When Sam inquired whether it had been an inside job, Dante stated that it was what Sonny suspected. However, Dante claimed that Sonny was ignorant that it was part of a larger probe involving a missing shipment of illegal weapons. He informed Sam that the FBI was involved and that Stone's older brother, John Cates, was in charge of the investigation. And guess what? He and Sonny, of course they have a long-standing beef with each other, he continued. Sam recognized that Dante had not informed Sonny about the FBI. Moments later, Sonny went up and understood Dante and Sam were talking about him. Dante informed his father that Jordan and Anna were investigating who had been targeting Sonny. When Sonny started asking questions, Dante reminded him that he couldn't discuss the pending investigation with him. Sonny dropped it since he needed to return to the office. After Sonny went away, Sam admitted that Dante had done the right thing by not informing him about the FBI, but Dante was skeptical that Sonny would agree. Sonny stopped nearby to inform Ava that he was going, but security would be present. Ava told him that after she left Windermere, she would return directly to his house. "All right, I'll see you at home," Sonny said. Cameron and Jocelyn reminisced in the living room about Spencer when they were kids. Cameron was astonished when Jocelyn informed him Spencer had looked up to him. After Ava led Cameron and Jocelyn to the door, Jocelyn stopped to speak with Cameron before heading to the launch. She said she hoped they had met under different circumstances. Cameron agreed, then inquired about Jocelyn and Dex's relationship. Jocelyn told Cameron that Dex made her happy. Cameron was glad because he wanted everyone he cared about, including Jocelyn, to be happy. At Puzzulo's, Sonny sat in his office, talking on the phone with Brick. Sonny was eager for the traitor's name because he planned to deal with him permanently. At Curtis and Portia's residence, Portia gave Trina a letter from Sorbonne University. Trina skimmed the letter and discovered that the institution had promised to keep a spot open for her the following semester. Portia and Curtis were happy until Trina stated unequivocally that she would never return to Paris. Portia was confident that Port Charles University would find another place for Trina to study, but Trina stated her intention to drop out. Trina didn't see the sense in going to school. Curtis cautiously advised that now was not the time to make life-changing decisions. Portia recognized Trina's grief about losing Spencer, but she was confident that Spencer would want Trina to pursue her life. What about his future, his purpose? Trina questioned through tears. "It's all gone," Trina explained. Portia drew her daughter into her arms as Trina began to cry. Later, Trina took her coat and went for a walk around the lake. Portia offered to accompany Trina, but she preferred to be alone. Outside, Trina paused and took the small turtle dove figurine from her coat pocket. She remembered Spencer handing her the treasured keepsake. Tears welled up in her eyes as she forced the memories aside. At the gatehouse, Michael wiped his shirt with a dish towel when he noticed Wiley's workbook on the table. Frustrated, he wondered how Willow made it appear so easy. Willow arrived home from work just moments later. Michael greeted her and told her about his hectic morning of feeding Amelia and getting Wiley off to school. However, Michael had neglected to include Wiley's arithmetic workbook. Willow chuckled as she noticed Michael had some of Amelia's food on his face, so she grabbed the dish towel and wiped his face. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.